Welcome to ProjectME, the podcast. I'm your host, Tiffany Carter, the founder of ProjectME, multimillionaire entrepreneur, former TV newscaster, money-making expert, female empowerment speaker, and self-proclaimed office supply addict. My mission is to take the mystery out of making big money. Every week on ProjectME, the podcast, I'll share success tips, strategies, and stories from other entrepreneurs, experts, and millionaires, showing you exactly how you can achieve your most exceptional life. Now let's get to it. Welcome to ProjectME with Tiffany Carter, the podcast and posse. I'm your host, Tiffany, and if you really don't like hearing people sip coffee, drink things, swallow, because I know there's like a condition for that. There's an actual term for people who really get grossed out and bothered by it. I will do my best to pause in between sips of my coffee, but I've only had 3 sips recording this episode. This is highly dangerous for me to do anything this uncaffeinated, but I waited till the last minute to record this episode for you because I'm not good at being fake. And I know that's a big part of why you spend time with me, why you listen to me, why you trust me, why you lean into me is because of that. That also doesn't mean I have to sit and disclose every single detail going on in my life, because that wouldn't be, self-honoring either as I'm processing stuff. But I think why I was being reluctant and procrastinating on recording this episode isn't because I don't love podcasting and I don't love sharing all this content with you guys and laughing with you guys and crying with you guys. See, I'm already crying. I'm going through some heavy stuff. Some really emotionally painful stuff that brings up lots of childhood shit. And it doesn't matter that I've had 500 years of therapy, that I've at least spent way more than $500,000 on my recovery work, on healing work, on body work, on breath work, on all of it. Meds, supplements, retreats. There's always another layer. There always is, you guys. I don't care if you're 90 years old. There's always another layer. And it's like usually just when you think like, yeah, I'm solid. I've done all this work. I'm solid, man. Life will hit you hard. And I'm going through it. And I'm not going to come on here. And I started noticing, I was like, oh, well, I need to wait to record because I'm not in a great space. I'm in more of a reflective space and I just want to sit out here and stare at the waves and kind of drift off. Or I just want to watch really sad movies that are happy, sad movies. Highly recommended. You've Got Mail. Do you guys remember that movie? First of all, you're going to laugh of how fast technology moves. With You've Got Mail, if Meg Ryan's in it, the shit's gonna be legit. I watched that. Oh God, there's another one that really got me. It's like the happy sad movies really got me. I knew, really want to know when I knew I was in trouble, and I know you have the same thing too. It's like when you're like borderline struggling, having a bad day versus, oh, okay, I'm in it. Like, this isn't good. Like, this could go sideways real quick. Like, I need to like ask for help. We all have those telltale signs. Some of you maybe go into like a workaholic mode. That used to be one of my modes, right? Like pouring everything into work so I didn't have to think. Some of you, you already have different kind of habits or vices you lean into, and those get heavier, like sugar, alcohol, weed, whatever. Well, we know that my unnecessary Amazon purchases are definitely at an all-time high. But I am returning everything that I think is ridiculous and that is not happening, i.e. the cordless jump rope. What was it, like $45? What is happening? And some asshole's making a lot of money off that. Have to have a sip of coffee. Don't hate me. Could you guys hear that? Like, can you hear me swallowing my coffee? I was trying to do like a quiet swallow, but you know, when you try to do like a quiet swallow, it ends up being really loud. Or how about like, have you ever been in like a job interview or like a first date, somewhere where you're kind of nervous and you need to take a sip of something and it's the loudest swallow you've ever done in your life? It's like a cartoon and you're like, oh my God, so embarrassing. Anyway, so my sign is this. This is where, when I knew, I was like, okay, like, Tiff, you need to ask for additional support and it's okay. It's okay. We need help, like SOS, waving the flag. So it's not just Amazon I do unnecessary purchases from online. I've now started dabbling in online Target purchases because there's a lot of fun things Target online that are not in the store. For all my international listeners, Target is like, now I'm going to pronounce it wrong, which is not surprising. Is it Harrods, Harrods, Harrods in Europe? It's like, and then I'm thinking of another store. It's a store that just has like, it has everything from appliances to clothes to jewelry to diapers. It's one of those stores, which is not normal usually outside of North America. That's very weird. You're not going to go into Greece and find that. Anyway, that was my way of describing Target. Oh, and they try to make it sound like the shit's cheap, you know, like it's a deal. Cause back in the day, Target actually used to be a discount store. Now Target's actually fucking expensive, but we're all programmed to think it's cheap. So we go there and easily justify buying all this stuff. And then all of a sudden it's $800 when you check out and you're like, what? I don't even understand what happened. Like, how did this go there? Okay. So box arrived and I was like, oh, it's not an Amazon box. Oh, crap. I have my notifications on. Whatever. Listen, I've already disclosed I'm not doing well. I'm not doing well. So give me grace on this, okay? So I open the door and I'm like, oh, there's a Target box. And their boxes, when they ship to you, are like unnecessarily large, which seems so wasteful. It's like you can order like a toothbrush and the box could like hold a coffin. It's very strange. So, but I was like, the box is big and I'm like, oh God, what did I buy now? And I start, you know, and it makes me kind of laugh because I know I'm going to share it with you guys. Well, this one I didn't share. I'm sharing it now, but I couldn't share it. It was bad. Open the box is really light for this giant box. I'm like, what in the hell did I order? I'm like, this is like my own mystery unboxing. And I'm like, I probably ordered like, because there's a minimum order to get free shipping. And you know, my ass is not going to pay for shipping. And you know, you do it too. When some company says you have to buy $25 worth, $50 worth to get free shipping, you know, your ass adds shit to the cart for the free shipping. If there's not free shipping, I'm out. Unless it's like a rare supplement I need. It's got to be like off the wall or I'm doing drunk shopping. Otherwise, there's no way I'm paying free ship. No way I'm paying shipping. You'll never see me charge you shipping for any of my shit. Ever. Never happening. Who's with me? Need to know these things. Period. So open the box. Hold on, another sip. God, I hope you guys don't hate me. I'm being just straight up. Like I'm struggling. And I use a lot of humor to get through it. And I'm laughing with you. But like, I'm in that like I could start crying right now. But I'm also laughing. Anyway, open the box. There's that plastic, puffy. They don't use like bubble wrap anymore. I don't know what's happened to that. Is that like outlawed? I have no idea. But it's this other shit. It's like bubble wrap, but not the little fun bubbles where you could push them and they snap, which were very satisfying as kids. They're like giant airbags. I'm like, okay, that's annoying because then you have to use scissors to cut them up. First thing I see, I shit you not, is a family size bag of the Smart Food white cheddar popcorn. So the largest possible bag they made. I've never even knew they made a family size bag of this. Now, those of you who've been listening to the show or have taken my programs or in my posse membership, you guys know it is not safe for me to have popcorn in this house, specifically cheese popcorn or any form of kettle corn. No, not safe. It's going down. I went, okay, that's interesting because I do actually go to the grocery store. I'm very weird about having groceries delivered. We'll save that for another episode. Like, I'm too Virgo-y. Like, did you check the expiration date? Did this guy who just got out of prison, is he really going to make sure my peaches aren't bruised? You know what I'm saying? This guy who just got out of prison, who's probably going back soon, who's delivering these groceries, do I really think he cared to check the expiration date and if my lettuce is wilted or not? I think not. So what was I saying? Oh, so I already go to the grocery store. So it was like, okay, giant bag that warranted a box that's the size of a dog bed of white cheddar Smart Food popcorn. My favorite, by the way. Feel free to send. They should sponsor me. That'd be dangerous. I'd be on my 600-pound life. And then underneath that, I'm not fucking kidding you, 6 bags of the eggnog spice flavored Dunkin' Donuts coffee that I've been sharing in my Instagram stories, where it's like people have been outraged. Like, you hate on pumpkin spice, but you're going to have eggnog spice? I'm like, I don't know. I love the smell of it. I'm down with it. I'm here for it, and I've not seen any other company make that flavor. So clearly that's where I'm at, you guys. We know when the white cheddar popcorn is coming in the mail from Target, of all places, in a family size bag, and then underneath was 6 bags of eggnog spiced Dunkin' coffee. I was like, I couldn't even video it to share with you guys. I was like, okay, this is bad. Of course, I proceeded to rip open the bag and eat fistfuls of this popcorn with the white cheddar stuck to my fingers, and then very excitedly sucked the cheese off my fingers like a barbarian. It's very sexy over here is what I'm trying to tell you. I know I don't know. I feel like I'm getting off track. Of course, I feel vulnerable and a little insecure right now that you guys are going to hate this episode because I'm all over the place and I'm in the feels. But I have to trust that this is exactly what you need to hear because I know some of you are going through it. And the holidays just fucking make everything exacerbated, whether it's stuff that happened 10 years ago, a year ago, yesterday, stuff that you've buried and put under the carpet and stuffed in your closet. It all comes out during the holidays. And I'm going through it. I'm feeling alone, and I'm not alone, but I feel very alone. I'm scared. I'm angry. I'm frustrated. I'm hurt. And then I flip to feeling like empowered and peaceful, and I've got this. And then I can't scroll. You don't scroll. If you scroll, I would rather you guys do this trick. Create a, I don't know if you can do this. You can Google it if you're not, exactly sure how, but you can do like a close friends, like where you have people set as your close friends in your Instagram. Taking a sip. Do you love how I'm warning you every time? I have no idea if you can hear it. Part of me doesn't care. And it's eggnog spiced coffee, by the way. The popcorn's long gone. What the fuck was I saying? I don't even... Oh, yeah. So your close friends list. So this close friends list, what you can do is the people, me, I should be one of the people, but the people who you feel are safe, where it's safe to watch their stuff. It's not going to trigger you, make you feel like shit. You know, the people who wear the damn matching Christmas pajamas and they have the family that, you know, the loving family, and they're like a walking Hallmark Christmas movie and everything's great. Meanwhile, the husband is cheating behind the scenes and she kind of knows it, but is in denial, but they're super happy. You know, those people, the Polly the influencer, the people who are like, I'm so grateful for everything in my life. Hashtag blessed, hashtag perfect, hashtag bliss, hashtag fuck off. If you're in a space where it doesn't make you laugh, it doesn't make you feel comforted, it doesn't make you feel like there's hope and feel understood. You know what I mean? That doesn't mean these people are bad people, but right now it's not helpful for you. It's actually hurting you to watch that. So it's okay to mute people. I fucking mute people all the time. I talk about it all the time. I tell people that I'm friends with, especially in this online space, like, I've muted your ass. You've gone off the chains lately, girl. Like, I don't want to see your period blood smeared on your body because you're doing some feminine moon ceremony. Like, listen, I love you, but now that's gone too far for me. I've muted you. I'll tell them that. I'm sure there's people who've muted me. And it's okay. I don't want to do anything that's going to make you guys feel that way, but I can't control that, right? Wow, this guy. I just watched a guy do one of those like really cool California like tube surf moves where they're surfing inside a tube of a wave. I literally just watched that as I said that to you. I think that's where that like expression like tubular comes from. I have no idea. But wow, I've always wished I could do that, but homegirl over here doesn't pop up. And you've got to be able to pop up when you surf. And if you've met me in person, you've hung out with me, I don't pop up. I luxuriate. I'm more of a like sexy, flowy sloth moving type person. Oh my God. I'm so glad you have patience with me. So yeah, just set it to friends and family. The friends and family. Don't follow your family. What am I talking about? But you know what I mean. The close friends setting, and mute people that are messing with you. But I really don't want you to scroll, because I'll start scrolling and go down a path. I don't care if it's a celebrity. I'll go down a path. When we're not feeling great, what we tend to do is we can lean into our misery. And yes, this is all of the point of this episode of the Mindset Reset, right? Getting down to the bottom of what's holding you back from building your dream life. Because I know you sit there and you go, God, what's my problem? Why am I not doing this? Why am I not following through? I'm an asshole. I'm lazy. You know, and then you'll flip to, well, it's because I'm confused and I don't have my niche and I'm not exactly sure what I need to do. And I didn't go to college, or no one ever taught me, or, you know, I'm not like these other people. I'm not good at technology. And you create all these fucking stories. They're stories. It's bullshit. I'm not saying there isn't truth behind those stories, but I could sit here and lean into my stories too, because I'm going through it. I could have taken the entire month of December off and not put out any podcast episodes. Do you know I've never missed putting out 2 episodes a week since I started the show? Never one time. And I've had some shit happen. You know, I've traveled the world, had deaths, been sick, had my breast implants removed. I mean, I had lots of shit happen. And I've never missed, because I'm that dedicated to you guys. I know it's an honor and privilege to be able to do this for a living and make amazing money doing it. And I know that you guys need these episodes. And I'm not saying it in a narcissistic way. You need these. I know. Here I go, crying again. Because when you're going through it, whether you're feeling like stuck, confused, overwhelmed, I want to make this money, I want to quit my job, I want to get to the next level of my business, I'm working so hard, I can make some money, but I'm not making the FU money Tiffany talks about. And how are these people doing it? And what am I missing? And I'm doing all the things. And I bought this course and I hired this person and nothing seems to be working. And then you go into self-doubt and then you go into shame and then all the stories come up. And I know that what can keep you afloat and keep you even crawling forward is being able to listen to these episodes and knowing you have someone on your side, whether you're fucking paying them or not. Like, you don't have to pay me for me to be on your side. Do you have to pay me for me to show you exactly how to do it with my proven methods and strategies and make sure the damn thing happens and be with you every step of the way? You damn straight you have to pay me, because my shit works. I mean, if I added up all the money of all the people that I've coached, it would be, I mean, if we take out the corporate side, because the corporate side brings that into the hundreds of millions. But if we bring it to like the solopreneur, the smaller business owner, oh, without a doubt, we're at $50 million. Without a doubt, when you add them all up. That's so freaking powerful. So yeah, you have to pay me for that. But not for me to like teach you. You don't have to pay me for me to teach. If you want to binge all my podcast episodes, you join my ProjectME Posse group coaching membership at $100 a month and you really show up, you will without a doubt get to $20,000 months. I feel very confident with that. But not if your mindset stuff is not being dealt with. Now the dogs are like having a fiasco. So now we have that going on here. Welcome to the shit show. Here's the deal. You are leaning in to your stories because it's familiar, it's safe, and then you really don't have to show up. I could lean into my stories. I did for 10 years, you guys. It took me 10 years to start ProjectME with Tiffany Carter. 10 years since I had the idea, the name, and the concept. I didn't have all the details fleshed out. I certainly didn't know what the hell I was doing. Yes, I've been an entrepreneur for 14 years, but not in a personal brand space. My other company is an agency model. So no, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I had no friends in this space. I had no idea. And that's why I understand where you're at. I did all the free, because I was being a cheap ass, because I was scared. Free. And then I started paying for some things, like course here, course there, all these stupid ass courses that were also cheap, that never taught me anything. Not to say there can't be courses that are cheap that teach you a lot. I've just never taken one, or it gave me like a nugget. Meanwhile, I'm wasting my time on all that crap when I could have just hired and found the money or taken out a loan and hired someone to show me exactly what to do. And I would have saved years, and I would have been at, without a doubt, $10 million a year with this business if I had done that. But my mind, my belief system, all that shit is what got in the way. That's what's getting in the way. And you're like, Tiff, I don't know how to get out of that way. Well, I'm going to share with you the main thing. And it is tough. It is like, picture the worst exercise, the one you loathe doing at the gym the most. Like I will not do burpees. I'm not available for it. Don't have me do it. Now the old me, exercise addiction, eating disorder, Tiffany, you told me to do 100 burpees. Even if I broke my leg while doing it, I would have done it to burn calories. I'm not available for burpees. I think they're unnecessary. They're bullshit. They're hard on your body. I'm not doing it. I'm also not running sprints. Not happening. Like I said, I'm like a sexy sloth moving person. We don't Sloths don't sprint. Hashtag. Oh, God, what was I saying? Oh, so it's like this, what I'm going to share with you is like doing your worst exercise and then knowing you have to do it multiple times a day, every day. And that is the only fucking way. And not liking the answer, not liking that that's the case, not even wanting to believe me, wanting to go into denial that you're going to have to do the burpees multiple times a day, every single day, 7 days a week to get what you want. So I'm giving you the answer. I'm giving you the way. You don't like the answer. And so your brain is so uncomfortable with it. It's going to go into denial. Oh, she's full of shit. There's got to be another way. Well, I watch Sarah, the spiritual influencer, and she says, you can do ayahuasca and cleanse all the stuff from the past, and that'll open up pathways. And I can just, do it that way because that way feels easier. And so I'm sure that way works. So you're going to try to find that path of least resistance. I'm telling you what works because I've done all the other shit. Well, I've not done ayahuasca. I don't know. That's a whole nother episode. I don't know about that. Meanwhile, I've done what is it? Crack cocaine. I didn't know I was doing crack cocaine. It was at a party when I was on TV. I really didn't know it was out of a glass pipe. I didn't know. So it's not about the fact I'm being weird about drugs. It's that I don't know how I feel about that. They say it calls you. Maybe I will someday. Who knows? But if you don't do all the other work around that could be very, very dangerous. It's spiritual bypassing. It's trying to take a shortcut. And let me tell you something. When you try to take a shortcut with your mindset, with your inner child healing work, with your deeply buried pain, grief, emotions, and anger, it does not end well, you guys. It doesn't end well. It's a miracle I'm alive. 7 years ago, I went to kill myself from doing all of that. And on the outside, you would have been like, wow, Tiffany is so into her healing. She's doing water therapy where I have a healing practitioner holding me like a baby in the water. I did group art therapy. I did private therapy twice a week. I did, is it EDMR? When I'm tired, I get kind of dyslexic, but EDMR. Oh my God. I mean, the red light therapy. I did all of it. All of it. Cleanses. Because I was bypassing the burpees. And I don't want you guys to do that. It's very dangerous, and it might not be dangerous yet, but it'll get there. And some of you are right there. You've been bypassing the burpees most of your life. And I know there's some of you listening who you're like, no, I know I'm bypassing the burpees, and it's fucking time. And I'm here. And you're not alone, and I get it. And it's really hard. And you're going to buy your version of the white cheddar popcorn. It's going to happen. You're not that evolved, right? We all have our things. Here's the burpee thing when it comes to your mindset and what is holding you back from the life that you deserve. I don't care if it's in love, if it's having your own money where you no longer have to depend on any man, on any woman, on any family member, on any institution, on any job, on any career, any profession. In order to live the life you want and have the options and the freedom. Maybe it's calling in the real friendships, not these bullshit people, these Klingons, these energy vampires. Maybe it's that. Maybe it's all of it. Maybe all areas of your life are a freaking mess. What's holding you back is one, you're avoiding the burpees. You're doing all the ancillary work on the outside and not the real gritty, daily, uncomfortable damn work. Number two, you're leaning into your stories. We all have stories and they feel true. And there's fact to back them up. Think of my story as an example. From 11 years old to 21 years old, I was sexually abused almost every single day and pimped out to multiple men. Think that's a Lifetime movie shit, right? And I'm not saying like my story's worse than yours or anything like that. I'm just giving it as an example. I have that story that no one, and I did it all through my 20s, that no one would, I used it as a thing, right? Like, well, I'm diagnosed with major depressive disorder, PTSD, right? I'm been on medication, so I could easily go, well, I'm like this. I can't do this because I'm depressed, because I'm so messed up, because I have all this anxiety and trauma and I get triggered. And yes, there's truth to that. And there was no one except one person back then. Now I'm going to cry again. There's two people, excuse me, that everyone else, no one had anything to say to that. Who's going to say anything back to that? And all of you have some kind of a story where even your significant other or close people in your life probably don't say anything back to it. Maybe it's that you have ADHD. Maybe you have anxiety. Maybe you have depression. Maybe you have some kind of you have an illness. You're a cancer survivor. There's something you have a kid with autism or that is on the spectrum. I think that's the appropriate term now. You got some shit going on. Maybe you're gay and all the shit that comes with that. Maybe you're a woman of color or a man of color and all the shit that comes with that. And there's not to say there's not actual facts to this stuff. There's actual facts to this stuff, but you're leaning into that story. I could easily have leaned into the story and then not recorded anything all of December. Well, I've never missed a podcast episode one time all these years. And blah, blah, blah. I'm going through this and all this pain and who wouldn't, and convince my coach and try to convince my best friend and, that it makes sense. And I can be very convincing. All of us are. This is why you don't show up, because we're very manipulative and convincing with ourselves. And we do it to others when we're scared and we don't know what to do. And we make excuses. This is where procrastination comes in, why you're not showing up. And then we use the fact, and then we hold on to this facts. We wear it as a label. Well, I'm going, and what I'm going through now, all of you would understand. All of you would go, I would understand why she took December off. But what does leaning into that story get me? You lean into the story, even if there's truth to it. You lean into those feelings. I'm going to have more of that shit. You need to take contrary action. And I'm not saying to ignore your feelings. I'm not saying to stuff them. I want you to process, but take contrary action. Do the opposite of what that ego of yours wants to do. You want to hide. Your ego wants you to hide. It wants to feel safe. You want to eat cheese, popcorn, and wine for dinner every night. It wants to do that. Well, take contrary action, right? No, how can I do the opposite? How can I at least show up a little bit today? I'm not saying like you need to go and be on some platform, but like, how can I show up a little? How can I nourish myself with food a little better today? I can still have some cheese popcorn, but how can, at least for the rest of the day, how can I nourish myself better with food? Or can I drink more water? If you're not sure where to go in your business, if you're not sure how to get what the hell it is that you want, that you set out to have in 2021, and now we're at the end of it and you're not there. Maybe you move the needle a little bit, maybe not at all. Maybe you feel you took 3 steps forward and 25 back. So what contrary action are you going to take at this time now today that you've never taken before, so that we can set you up for something completely different for actually getting what you want in 2022? It needs to be wildly uncomfortable. It's got to require you putting money on the line. You have to use that energy of money. Money on the line that makes you feel uncomfortable, and your ego's going to go, that's irresponsible. I don't have the money. Where am I going to get the money? Well, money has a funny way of making people show up. If I put out a tweet right now with this address and said, come to the balcony on the ocean, I'm giving out $5,000 to the first 3 people who come here, I would have, without a doubt, there would be at least 6,000 people in line on this balcony. People would leave work. They'd get out of the ocean. They would drive. They would call their kids. They would find a babysitter. Money has a funny way of getting people to show up. Also, conversely, losing money, the consequence of going broke, of not having the money. If I told you, by you not doing your version of the burpees, you not getting serious, legit, highly qualified help and stop fucking around and put real money on the line so that you're accountable, so you show up, and so you actually have a clear strategy and plan to get what it is you say that you want, and to make sure that happens, and have someone hold you to it and hold yourself to it. And if you don't do it, you're going to lose. At minimum, you're going to lose in 2022, at absolute minimum, $120,000. Would you do it then? You're going to lose a minimum of $120,000 if you don't do it. Would you do it? That's how I without a doubt, let's say you're starting at 0. Without a doubt, what I teach you, if I know that you're doing the mindset work and you show up and you're humble and willing to learn and go all in with me, I'm very confident you can get to $10,000 a month. Some of you are so determined to self-sabotage and won't get out of your own way. I can't do anything with that. I'm not God. I'm not a miracle worker. But that's how much you're losing in terms of monetarily by not going for it. Me taking all those years of toe dipping, without a doubt, this would be a $10 million, if not more, $15 million a year business if I had stopped fucking around. We have to have people in our lives who are willing to tell us the truth, the stuff we don't like, the stuff we might get mad at them for. And going back to those 2 people I had in my life when I was telling everyone my story of, well, I can't do this because I'm depressed and I get PTSD and I get triggered and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. One was a therapist, which I started to cry because God bless Janice. She helped save my life, but she passed away. One of the most beautiful souls. I'm actually staring at the beach. That's where her ashes are spread. Whew. And the other is a dear, dear friend of mine who's more like a family member, Steve. They did not allow me. They called me out. They were willing to have me be mad at them. Janice didn't give a shit about the money. She was willing for me to fire her and never come back. And Steve didn't care if I hated him for the truth because they cared more about me. Those are the people that you need in your life. People who aren't going to allow you to stay stuck in your story. That doesn't mean the things didn't happen. That doesn't mean there isn't truth to it, but leaning into it and holding on to it isn't serving you. I need you to take contrary action and lean out of it in order for you to have something be different. Leaning into something, you're only going to get more of it, right? You want more love? Leaning into love and intimacy gets you more love, right? Not leaning out of it. That doesn't, and hiding out and being a relationship anorexia and being with a guard up, that doesn't get you more of it, gets you the opposite. You want money, you want freedom, you want success. You want this dream of yours to really take off and go to the next level. I need you to lean in. I need you to lean into that and lean out of those stories that you have going. I'm bad at tech. I've hired people and they've, these coaches, and they've not helped me. I've invested this much. So what? I've invested over $500,000 in my personal development and my emotional well-being and my mental wellness. So what does that mean? Does that mean all the people and the things I invested in work? Certainly not. I had a therapist that was terrible at my worst when I was coming out of, after just going to kill myself, that I was sent to. Actually, I wasn't sent to. I found her. I don't want to say her name because I don't want to get sued. My lawyer always is like, I know you want to call people out, but we don't want you to get sued. She's on, I don't know if you guys know, like Dr. Drew Celebrity Rehab. She was one of the therapists on Celebrity Rehab. And I love reality TV. I love Dr. Drew Pinsky. I think he's fabulous. I've never met him in person. And so because I love him and I feel so much trust around him, I thought, well, he wouldn't have someone on the show who wasn't great, which how do I know that he was in charge of that? And it was a coincidence that she was literally like 2 miles from my townhouse at the time. This woman was convincing me that I needed to be sent away, like to an institution. And I almost did it. And it was $30,000. And guess who got a cut of this? Guess who would have gotten a cut of that? And had me buying all these supplements. And guess who sold the supplements? Pure wildness. But does that mean I went, oh, well, screw all therapists. I'm not going to see a therapist again. Or, I've had a coach who was 180 degrees a different person than they are online. And this person's pretty well known. Guaranteed you probably know who it is. Totally 100% different, like wildly, shockingly different. And already had my money, had half the money for private coaching. And I signed a contract where I couldn't get that money back. And I went in to meet this coach in person. I was so excited. And this is someone I'd been following for a couple of years. And they're full of shit. And I couldn't get my money back. But does that mean I didn't hire a coach again? Did that mean that everyone in the online space sucks and I spent all this money and I don't want to spend more money? No, that'd be me leaning into that story. So where are you leaning into your story? Where can we start leaning out and taking contrary action? But it better be scary. It better cost you money. It better cost you time. Consequences. If you don't set it up to where if you don't show up, you don't like the consequences, it's not gonna stick for you. I need you guys to do me a solid and not procrastinate on this. For donation December, I need you guys to write a 5-star written Apple Podcast review and leave your name or Instagram handle in the review. And then DM me on Instagram, preferably with a screenshot of it so we don't have to cross-reference. And for every single person who leaves a 5-star written Apple Podcast review and leaves your name or Instagram handle in the review, we're going to donate $20 to Children of the Night to help rescue children, teens, and women from sex traffickers. On top of that, I am going to match that donation. So simply for you taking 90 seconds to leave that review, it's going to be $40. And this goes a long way because these women need medical attention, a lot of therapy, food, clothes. I mean, you name it. They need it. And for many years, you can't rehabilitate someone from that life, for 1 year even. I mean, they all come in where they're drug addicted, not voluntarily, right? So they have to be weaned off that. Some of them are pregnant. Some of them have extreme internal organ damage, as you can imagine. This $40 goes a really long way. Plus, it helps build the safe houses as well to keep them from these dangerous people. If you don't know how to leave a review, then Google it. How do I leave an Apple Podcast review? And it's actually simple. It's just not super obvious. When you go on the platform, you have to pay attention to where it says write a review. I would really appreciate it. The goal is to get to $10,000 donation for the month of December, and we're far off from that goal, to be straight up with you. We're only at 1,000. So please do that. I would so appreciate it. I hope you're okay with this episode. Let me know. And if you weren't, you can also let me know. I can handle it. If it was like, Tiff, that was way too heavy, that was not helpful at all. I hated you sipping your coffee on the mic. It made me cringe. Let me know. You can share a screenshot if you love the episode. Tag me at ProjectME with Tiffany. You can also DM me if it's something more personal. I love you guys so much. Wishing you great health, wealth, and worth as always. Bye, guys. If you enjoyed this podcast, please write a 5-star review on iTunes. Not only will this make me super happy, but it will allow more listeners to find our special show. Simply help me help others.